what anybody says. Those are clean jerseys.
You wear that jersey?
Yeah, I got the Grant Hill one.
And the Grant Hill one in the red?
I might wear it in red. I might put that on.
Okay, we're getting somewhere, Terry.
All right.
Uncle T getting it bracket, you know what I'm saying? Throw up the blood gang. No, I'm playing. All right, but back to the players actually wearing the jerseys. I wanted to ask you something. So your pro comparison for Killian, I'm sorry, I keep saying Killian Cade. It's kind of similar, but your pro comparisons were Grant Hill and Magic?
Combination, right.
So ball handlers, right?
Right.
Killian, who already exists on the team, is another ball handler, in my opinion. Do you think those guys can coexist?
They can. When you look at the NBA today, you got to have several ball handlers. This is not your grandfather's NBA where you had a point guard, a shooting guard, and a three who could score.
Yeah.
You got guys, it's positionless basketball. You got to have a couple guys that can handle the rock. Today, it's just different now. So, yeah, they can coexist. Killian Hayes has got to, what he needs to do, he needs that mindset of, I can score, so I'm going to score. And I think that's going to help him with Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is going to pick his spots. Okay, I'm going to dominate offensively. I'm going to dominate by making my teammates better. I'm going to dominate on defense. So there is a place for Killian Hayes if he said, okay, I'm a baller. Okay, this is my moment. I'm going to shoot. Yeah. I'm going to penetrate. I'm going to dog this guy who's trying to defend me. If he's still playing that little pity-pat game like, okay, I'm going to pass the ball around and not look for my shot, then that's not going to work. But with Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes should be free to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's going to have to look for his shots.
It's going to be there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like his role would be, getting open. All right, can you play those highlights again real quick? I want to see how many of those threes and shots are coming off of passes and stuff like that, too, because he was expected to be the ball handler. So I want to see because people say by the numbers he's good, catching the screen off-ball screens and shooting off the, okay. There's another three off a pass. So, hey, hopefully you're right, man. I mean, I think you are watching these highlights now.
Right. But if that's a mindset.
That's true.
Sometimes he would have it and sometimes he wouldn't.
Yeah. But you see, I think with what you said, though, he was too concerned with setting other guys up and, like, playing that role.
Right.
And helping everybody else excel that he got away from that. But that's a great point. I think with Cade, he will be able to do that. All right. Before we went to break, we were talking about Killian and Cade coexisting as ball handlers. It looks like that could happen.
It's got to happen.
It's got to happen.
It can. It's got to.
Yeah. Is there because I didn't watch these guys live to relate to them. Isaiah and Joe D.
Right.
Isaiah
was the primary point guard, but they used to switch positions where Joe ran the point and Isaiah played the two.
Okay.
So they would give people a different look, and Isaiah would be rolling off screens. So even then, coaches were saying we need multiple ball handlers. Vinnie Johnson would run the point.
But would it be on the same time as Isaiah, like be on the floor too?
Oh, yeah.
They'd be on the floor together?
Yeah, they would do that. But Vinnie Johnson would get like 16, 17 minutes a game. So him running the point with Isaiah didn't happen often, but it happened. It would happen. And but because primarily Isaiah was taught to set up teammates, get your points, and try to play defense. But back then, the better teams ran three-guard offenses. You had Vinnie Johnson, Dumars, and Isaiah. Milwaukee had three guards.
How tall was Vinnie?
Vinnie's 6'1".
Damn, so Joe D was playing. Well, I guess guys were lineups were smaller back then too, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a 6'9" point guard. His name was Magic Johnson.
And that was it.
But once again, coaches, if you were 6'5" or taller, you're not playing the point. It was that mentality back then. Now today, you got these guys from Europe who want to play small forward or big guard who's 6'9". So coaches are allowing them to play the guard position. Because if you can handle the rock, I don't care if you're 6'1" or 6'9". You're going to play guard for me.
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to have a bigger lineup. But back then, there was probably guys that could play the guard position at 6'6", 6'5". Charles Barkley could probably play guard.
That's another one of them dudes. I just didn't get to watch.
Yeah, but he was listed as 6'6". He was actually 6'4.5", and they probably should have let him play guard.
Charles Barkley was 6'4.5"?
Yeah, he was not 6'6".
Playing power forward?
Yes.
That's insane.
That's how strong he was. And then not only playing power forward, but he go to get some 6'8" dude and dominate.
Yeah.
Snatch the rebound from him. You know, now we see Charles as the funny fat guy, but Charles was a bitch, man, when he played. I mean, and I mean that in the toughest way. He was hard to guard, had fun on the court. He had a good time on it. In fact, I have a Charles Barkley story. One time I interviewed Charles Barkley here at the Palace, and he said, next time you're in Philadelphia, come by before the game and say hi. Well, what happened was Bill Laimbeer got injured, and so I couldn't go into the Philadelphia locker room. And during the game, the ball, they put the media on the baseline in Philadelphia, so the ball came to me, and I caught it, and I threw it to Charles, and he said, hey, man, I thought you were going to come see me before the game. I said, well, I couldn't because Bill Laimbeer got injured, and so I had to work on the story. And he said, I should have figured that asshole had something to do with it. So, but we ended up talking for like 30 seconds, and the ref started blowing the whistle, said, Charles, we got to play. And he said, I got something else to do. So then he started playing, and he lit up the Pistons. But he was hilarious.
I feel like you two would get along, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you guys' personalities cause some trouble, too.
Big time. I'm a troublemaker. I'm not afraid of that.
Hey, it is what it is sometimes. You got to live your truth.
Right. It's true.
I just wanted to make one more point on the guards. The only reason why it concerns me is like when I think about today's NBA, no teams come to mind for me that have two dominant guards that are each like ball handlers. But if Killian can shoot consistently enough, maybe it's like a Stephen Clay type situation.
What are you afraid of? Yeah, but Stephen Clay, I mean,
but I
Clay
don't see them shoot as consistently as those guys.
That's true. But I think we're talking about ball hand. Clay can handle the block. If Steph decides he wants to play the two, I'm sure that's happened a lot. You play the two.
But like, so outside of them though, because they're like, when it comes to shooting, they're like the cream of the crop. And I don't want to put those expectations or even expect that from those guys in Killian and Cade. Is there another like two-guard duo that's succeeding right now in the NBA?
How about LeBron James and every point guard?
Okay, that's a good one.
Every team that LeBron James is on has a point guard who doesn't play point.
And that's why when they said LeBron switched to point guard, I'm like, what? He's been playing point guard his whole damn career. Like, yeah.
So that's an example. Dwayne Wade, who was a small forward, played the point, and he always had a point guard. Drazen with the Russian dude. His name. Right.
And White Chocolate too.
Right. White Chocolate. He was spectacular. I love seeing him play.
Yeah.
So the dual ball handling is not new to this league, and do not be afraid. Don't be afraid of it.
It's just too good to be true, Uncle T. It's too good to be true, man.
You got Cade Cunningham.
We got Cade Cunningham, man. And
he's a bad man.
And you, Uncle Sean, were yelling at me for cheering about it.
No, I wasn't yelling at you. I was like, what in the hell is going on around here? You guys were throwing panties all over the place. Just it was electric. I'm not used to that.
I'm glad you agree, Terry Foster.
Huh?
I'm glad you agree.
You know what, Fish? No, I'm playing.
We haven't seen him play.
Hey, I think his basement is a damn good NBA player. Just because of how he plays the game. Like you said, he's orchestrating out there. He's getting guys the balls where they're good at. And that's why I like the Kelly Olynyk signing, because like we don't need Kelly Olynyk to go out there and be a superstar. We just need him to sit in the damn corner and let Cade give him the ball when he's open.
Hit a few threes.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why I was puzzled by when they released Plumlee. But what I didn't understand is it's a chess game with the Pistons. The Pistons do move one to set up move two.
Troy, yeah. Troy.
They got rid of Plumlee to bring in
Kelly Olynyk.
Right, Olynyk. And also maybe Luka Garza.
Yeah.
down the road.
For sure.
But once again, this is a guy, when Olynyk gets old, well, here's our other guy.
Yeah.
So that's what they were doing. Troy Weaver plays a chess game. Now, I'm used to Stan Van Gundy in the draft.
Form a fucking wall and draft the white guy.
Yeah. But he was not good at the draft.
He was terrible, man.
He was awful.
He was awful.
In fact, I asked him a question which pissed him off.
Because it had some truth in it.
Well, I asked him, why didn't you draft Devin Booker? Now, did I think Devin Booker was going to be all this? No. But here's what Devin Booker was. I said to Stan, you like guys who can shoot the three. You like guys who got a little wiggle to them.
Yeah.
And that he's going to get his 3 shot off. Why didn't you draft him? He's like, Stanley does all this and blah, blah. You coaches / gentlemen always get pissed because us in the media, we don't know anything. We're just dumbasses that just write what you say.
Yeah.
But I did question him on that one. Stan, who we got along with, got pissed at me, which, sort of happens.
I mean, deservedly so. You have a kid who wanted to be here. Granted, Stanley didn't shun Detroit at all. He said the Detroit everybody line, but you had a kid that wanted to be here. And like you said, could shoot and have potential in him. Is by hindsight's 50-50. I don't like you. Like you said, you didn't know Devin was going to be what he is today. So
but I questioned, why didn't you draft him?
He should have drafted him
before I saw him play in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other one, Donovan Mitchell. I didn't get to see him work out. But
wait, media gets to watch the workouts?
No.
Okay.
We are in the building. We
to speak with coaches afterwards.
The coach and the players afterwards, whoever we want to do. I was at the workout, not at the workout, but in the building.
Yeah.
And assistant coach that I knew said, there's a dude that was in there. We're going to draft him, I'm telling you. And he said his name is Donovan. He didn't even know his last name. It's Donovan. He said he lit it up. We were trying to devise ways to stop him. Nobody could stop him. But, he's playing against other college kids, so.
Did they ever, give a reason why they didn't pick him after that workout?
They liked Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard could shoot, and Luke Kennard could get into the lane a little bit in college. So they thought they had their guy.
But he wasn't athletic to think he'd get in the lane in the NBA. What were we thinking?
I wasn't in charge.
The other thing, too, I noticed, I think Dwight Howard, poisoned Stan Van Gundy a little bit, too, because I don't think he wanted guys who were real boisterous or vocal or could end up being superstars because he'd lose control like he did with Dwight.
Right.
Maybe that's why he just kept picking these.
And Dwight would tell him off, too.
Oh, yeah. Dwight would mimic him in the in national interviews.
It wasn't an interview with Dwight Howard, but I was just talking to him one time.
Mm-hmm. By the way, is that conversation we talking to those guys that?
I can repeat it now because this was over 10 years ago. But, I was asking about his relationship with Stan Van Gundy. This is before Stan came to the Pistons. And Dwight admitted to me, I used to light his ass up because I didn't agree with stuff. But he also said Stan was one of those guys where you could do that. You can go back and forth with Stan.
Yeah. And
he's not going to take it out on you unless you can't play.
Yeah.
So he said, I lit his ass up. He lit my ass up. We would get into it. And so, yeah, I do think it was toxic, though.
Oh, for sure. I think Stan can coach. I just don't know. Obviously, the GM role is just not his thing.
No, that was a mess up.
Big mess up. All right, my bookie. If you are a Detroit line slappy like my good friend Art in the producer booth, then want you to make some good money because they are the betting underdogs in plenty of matchups. In fact, I think Vegas has them only winning 3 games this year. Make sure you seal your bets at mybookie.ag and use the promo code Woodward to match yourself up to 50% deposit. And when we get back, Terry and I will talk some more Pistons. If you guys want us to talk some Lions, make sure you comment down below in the chat. If you are in the chat, make sure you hit that like button too. Woodward Sports.